Hello. In this video I'm going to show you in a little more detail one of the premium features available in Cite-Builder.com, and that is personal templates. In particular, I'm going to show you how using personal templates can save you even more time when creating your citations. Now, the core functionality of Cite-Builder already speeds up your source citation creation, as you don't have to figure out what information you need to include in the citation for a particular source type or citation style, and you also don't need to figure out the complex format that you need to structure the citation correctly. We've taken care of all that for you. However, you do still need to enter the information in, and depending on how much information is required for that particular citation format, it could take some time and potentially increase the chance of errors and inconsistencies, particularly if you're like me and you can't spell particular place names. So I'm going to show you how the personal templates feature, which is available with a premium Cite-Builder subscription, how it can save you time. So let's consider this scenario. Let's say we're working on a large English family. We're citing their baptism records from parish registers, and that we found the images for online, let's say in ancestry.com. So first of all, we're going to create a source citation for the baptism record of one of the many children. So we're going to come into parish registers, we'll go down to baptisms, we'll go to baptism parish register online, other digitized online, and we'll fill out the information. So I'm just going to go through and put in some information here. So country, England. Now you'll see I'm actually using another one of the premium features here, which is favorites. This heart here indicates that I've actually saved a few values that I can use in, say, the country field. The church I'm going to say is the Church of St. James, and the place I'm going to say is a place called Titherington in Gloucestershire. Now this is one of these place names that I always spell wrong. The baptism date for Mary was the 22nd of February in 1818. Person's name, as I said, was Mary Allway. And the register type, I've actually got that saved as a favorite, baptisms. The date range of the register was 1813 to 1855. In the case of Mary, I found her baptism record on image 26. The website title, like I said, well, let's say it's Ancestry, and the URL was ancestry.com, and I accessed it on today, let's say. So that's great, and I build my citation, and I scroll down and you see I've got my 3 citation formats there. Let's now say that I want to also cite the baptism record of one of Mary's siblings, one of her many siblings. So what I would typically do, what I could do is I could of course go down into here and say, well, it's Diana Allway, and she was baptized on the 7th of November. Let's clear that out. So put in November, and that was 1813, and her baptism record was found in image 14 of the same register, and I generate my citation there. There's a citation for Diana. And of course I could go through and repeat this process for all of the siblings. But let's say for example, I'm actually not going to be doing all of it today. I might be coming back tomorrow to do some more siblings. I might even be coming back next week, whatever. So I don't want to keep this up on the screen the whole time. So here is where I'm going to create something which we call a personal template. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through this, and I'm going to delete the specific data for for Diana in this case. I might even just leave the word image in here. Actually, let's leave the image, leave that there. Clear out the date that I accessed it. So I'm leaving the country, church name, place, baptism register type. I'm leaving the surname in there, the date of the register, and so on. Now I'm going to save it as a template. I can give it any name I like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Allway Baptisms Parish Register St James. Honestly, the name can be whatever means something to me. So I'm just going to save that template with that name. Now when I go to the top level, at any point, over here on the right hand side at the end of the list is the template that I've created. Personally, I like to move the most recent template to the top of the list, so it's always much easier to find, especially if I have a lot of templates. But you can reorder templates in any way that you like, and I'll show you a few ways of doing that later on in this demo. So now, whenever I come into Cite-Builder, I just simply click on the template name, and I already have the template preloaded with the information that's consistent for all of the siblings. So let's say now we want to cite the birth record the baptism record of Rebecca Allway. She's on image 23. Whoops, extra space there, silly me. Image 23. Her baptism date was the 29th of November. And that was in 1816, and let's say I accessed it yesterday, and now I can build the citation. Go back to top level, grab the template again, and I can go down through and I can start putting in, all the rest of the siblings very, very easily. I'm just making it up now as I go along. Image 34, date, let's say today again. So as you can see, saving a template means that I can actually save a lot of time typing in this sort of repetitive information. It means that that template's there that I can come back to whenever I need to use it. Also, things like Titherington, Gloucestershire, not only does that take a lot of time to type in, I'm always misspelling it. I always misspell Gloucestershire. I always put an extra H in by mistake. At least if I've got it saved in a template or even saved as a favorite, I'm just going to save it as a favorite here as well. That's another premium feature, as I say, and that means that I can, in any other rule where there is a place field, I have access to this place name. That's not part of templates, it's part of favorites, and there'll be another video about that. But basically, just by having these templates saved, I can save myself an awful lot of time and a potential for an awful lot of mistakes and typing mistakes and inconsistency, for example. So again, if I had a church name that was something like St James and St John, and it was done with an ampersand rather than and, if I've got it saved in a template or saved as a favorite, it'll save me typing time. It'll also be consistent that I'll always use St James and St John. So that's how to use templates. Now, there's a couple of other things here. It's obviously, you can see I've got a number of different styles there. One thing is that if I go back, when I'm creating a template, let me go to this again, just do a different one. If for example I was using the Strathclyde style, or I was using the UTAS style, then when I save the template, that will be the default style which gets used when the template opens. So again, let's just put a few values in here. Just sort of, I'm just using favorites I've got saved here. Nothing particularly realistic. Let's put in family search. Let's put in URL as family search. Save it as a template. Let's say family search baptisms. Save it as a template. Now if I go back to the top level, there's my family search template. I'm just going to move it to the second position there. And here you can see when I open it, it defaults at the style that I saved it with. You can see that if I'm actually using a template and I make some changes, let's say I'm going to say this is St. Paul's, and it's in Titherington. Let's say they've got 2 churches there. Actually, let's not say there's 2 churches. Let's just put in a different village, and I was going to then save that as a new template. So I go back to my top level, and again there's St. Paul's. I'm just going to move it to the 3rd position there, and that's my new template. So you can create a template either from one of the rules that we've already got defined, or you can create a template from one of your own personal templates. Now, another good use of templates is, look, let's say I'm looking for something like census records, censuses and musters in the US, federal population. So there's a lot of navigation to get down to a particular rule. It's not the end of the world. In fact, I could also use rule search to find the rule. But perhaps if there's a particular one that I know I'm going to use time and time again. So let's go back to censuses, United States censuses, New York censuses. Let's say the 1875 New York census. And I'm just going to save that as a template. I mean, I could pre-fill it with some information, but let's just say in this case I'm just going to save it as a template. I'm going to say 1875 New York census. Save it as a template. So when I go back to top level, there it is. Again, I'm going to move it. That's my personal preference, is to put it at the front of the list. So now, instead of each time having to go down through and locate it, instead of doing that, I've used templates and I've just saved it effectively as a shortcut. There it is. So hopefully this has been useful, showing you a few of the different ways that you can use templates to further speed up your creation of citations, and also to sort of have that consistency, avoid spelling mistakes, make sure that you spell things the same way each time, especially if there's some ambiguity as to how something might be spelt. Thank you.